What was I thinking? Through a series of circumstances, I spoke to this man on the phone, and one day, and you know, I've spoken to many, but he gave me the idea that maybe he's the person that I needed to talk to. So I went up the following day and met him. We visited. Nothing really unusual. Well, there's no need me telling you what happened. I'm gonna introduce you to Dwight Adair, and I want to tell you. I'm sure some of y'all knew the Adairs that we had in our area, right? He was an Adair in East Texas. He went to L.A. to do the television series Dallas and Dynasty, and he changed his name to Adair. And we're not talking Adairs down here. I'm going to let him tell you about himself, and he can do a lot better job than me.
Thank you for being here. And first thing I'd like to say is just who wouldn't want to make a movie about this? Now, I met with Michael. I read his book, and I immediately saw the story of a common but noble man that wanted to make a difference in this world. He was compelled to do it because of the way he was brought up and because he had this passion. And the passion wasn't about making himself famous or making other people wrong. It wasn't a passion about making money. It wasn't a passion about winning. It was a passion about justice and what's true. And I think that there are few manuscripts the size of his book that I have read that are as compelling as his book. Because in its own quiet way, it is a call to all of us to action. To not put this veneer over everything that is not right and look the other way and say, it's just the way things are. Can't fight City Hall. And I think as a director, producer, and writer that you won't get a few opportunities to tell a story like that. There was the movie Grapes of Wrath a long time ago that you may remember. And there have been others along the way. But I read the book and I knew that I had to help Michael get his story out. So where we are today is that I've read his book thoroughly and I have written a 20-page treatment, it's called. And that is a somewhat detailed outline of the character and plot development that would take place over an hour and a half time while someone watched this movie. And I have to tell that in an hour and a half, everything that is compelling about his story personally and about the people that he has helped through the cases that he's worked with. So there's a lot of compression that has to happen. There's a lot of point-to-point storytelling, which maybe fudges the truth a little bit. But in the end, I found after I wrote the treatment that it was very true to Michael's experience and to others' experience of him. And to my delight, upon showing it to people in my industry that are in the know about whether or not there's a story there, whether or not there's something compelling enough to move forward on, they were very effusive about not my writing, but about the story. And about what a perfect time in the course of history and in the course of our nation it is for this story to get out there and for it to become contagious. So I'm acting on it. I can answer any questions privately or here publicly that you want about the project. What I will say is, okay, we've got the treatment written. We agree that the essential elements of the story and the character are there. We'll now move forward in writing the script. That has to flesh out 20 pages to 120 pages. That means that the dialogue has to sound like it's actually real and would happen on that street corner and not up in some ivory tower. It means that personalities have to ring true to small town America. It means that the values and integrity and lack of revenge, lack of haughtiness has to be at the heart of this project, or I will have failed. And a very great message will not have gotten out there. So we're going to do our best to move this project forward. It would need to be a standalone movie that then becomes a DVD that then is shown not just in the United States of America but around the world, because that's the way the motion picture business is. It's global. There needs to be I'll call it a television series based on this movie, which may in fact live on the internet, because people are more and more getting entertainment and video off the internet. You're going to see that in the next 2 years. It's going to mushroom. Google is going to become another NBC. Yahoo is going to become another ABC. AOL is going to become CBS. And the fierce gatekeepers that there are in small production loop of television are going to get bubbled over, and there's going to be professionals like me and others who say, I don't need you, I can do it on the internet. And garner an audience that I could never get on Just American television, because they're going to be watching it in Southeast Asia.
The camera's running out of power. We'll be powering down soon.
So, yes, we have big hopes, we have big dreams, we have no money. But every producer at the beginning of every project has no money. And of course, I know people in Los Angeles, and of course, they will get tapped. But the important thing I want you to know is that Michael's story and the story of the people in his book are really universal. It's not about Easton. It's not about Carbon. It's not about little towns up in East Texas. It's not about Canton. It's about what we all know is right and true, and we're going to stand up for it. Thank you.
Are there any questions that you would like to ask either of these? I had one. Dwight, would you like to take this treatment and teach it to a group of producers or investors, maybe I should say?
I think we'd be better served to get the screenplay written, and then when we pitch it to potential investors and or producer distributors, they will see a property that's further along in the food chain, if you will. Some independent investors are not used to reading scripts in a script format. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it's not like reading a short story. Whereas the treatment is more in a short story outline form. So I would probably take both of those to the next step rather than trying to do that now.
Are there any other questions that you'd like to hit these with? Yeah.
Surely.
Most of them going to be shot this local, or?
The question was, where is it going to be shot? It will definitely be shot in Texas. one of the ways that you keep your costs down is by shooting at practical locations. And why would we go somewhere else besides this bank to shoot? So there are going to be situations like that where certainly we would be back in this area shooting. But the bottom line is always the bottom line. What is the most efficient? What is the most cost efficient? And so the best I can say now is yes, we're definitely going to shoot in Texas. We're definitely going to shoot some things around here. Until I get the script written, I couldn't tell you.
Will you write the final script?
Well, that's up to Michael.
Oh.
Right now, it looks as if that's going to be the case. Yes.
I would say yes.